Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Savannah and this is my crafting podcast, I guess you could say. I'm predominantly a knitter, so that's the content you are getting here. Don't mind my look. I'm wearing my cute little Christmas shirt. My coworkers and I all wear the same shirt. Well, we all ordered the same shirt and we wear them every Friday. Granted, we only have one more Friday before, but so that's what I wore to work today. And then I was chilly, so I just went ahead and put on my little Costco, whatever, flannel. I don't care what it's called. But yeah, so I look a little silly because these two things don't really go together, but I'm chilly, so anyways, welcome. I appreciate you stopping by. I know I forget to say this all the time, but all social media links and everything that I talk about will be linked down in the description below. If you are curious, everything usually links to Ravelry. So if you prefer not to use Ravelry, I am sorry. It's what I use. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. Last week, I forgot to talk about two things. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that. And both of them were finishes. I just had the gifts already had been gifted and the other thing has already been put to use. So it was put away with where it needed to be used on a daily basis. So I'll go ahead and show you that. Oh, I forgot to grab the other thing. Oh well. First finished thing is my Muscle Burra hat by Isolde Teague. So I followed the pattern from my size, which I think was the adult medium, but I'll talk about that more in a minute. But I finished it. It actually knit up a lot faster than I expected. I want to grab the other thing to compare it to. Okay. So let me go ahead and tell you what the yarn is real quick before I get into more detail. The yarn I used was Kelborn Woolens, the perennial base. I know you can't see that, I'm sorry. 60% superwash merino, 25% Surrey alpaca, and 15% nylon. It has 497 yards to 100 grams. That's a lot. I'm sorry. Sorry. That's a lot of yardage for this, but this is in the neon lime colorway. This is really nice yarn, actually. So that's what this color is. I made the Muscle Burra, again by Isolde Teague. It is a very size inclusive. You can use almost any type of yarn with any type of needles, and it's all in the pattern. It's a really good pattern. I knit mine to, so this is what it looks like. I knit mine to the length for my size. Again, I believe it was the adult medium size. So I knit mine the length that it needed to be. I kind of wish I would have gone more because I still have about 30 grams of this yarn left. And it isn't nearly as long as I would hope it would be. I think this is how I had it. Anyways, so I knit this up and I swear it went kind of quickly. I was a little terrified that it was going to take a lot longer than expected, just because it's a lot of stockinette and I tend to feel like just plain stockinette takes me forever for some reason. So this is how I've been wearing it lately because it has been so chilly. If I want to be cute, I usually try to leave my bangs out a little bit, but then I feel like it slips off my head a lot. I can also wear it more slouchy by not having the brim folded. So it's still a decent size. It's just, I think I would have liked it just a little bit longer. Probably not by much, but done. And I've been wearing it, like I said, almost every single day this week. And I can't remember what day I finished it last week, but it was definitely before the weekend. So so what I wanted to compare it to is this very this whip has been just sitting for a very, very, very long time. a very long time. So this is another pattern that is just stockinette in the round for a long time. So this is the, oh, I think it's called the Twisted Cowl by Knititude. This is all that I've got. I started this like 2 years ago, I think. And again, it's just straight stockinette in the round for a certain amount of inches, and then you will connect it with a twist to be a cowl. But you have to, I believe the pattern says something like 30 inches. And this just feels like it's taking forever, which is crazy. So this is fingering weight yarn, and I knit this on a US 3 needles. I can't remember the millimeter, I'm sorry. This is on a US 6, and it is a, let's see the yarn here. The yarn is the HauteKnit Yummy, 185 yards to 100 grams. This is the second skein. I bought this at Joann's a while back. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out. It is a bulky. It's 77% acrylic, 20% wool, and 3% viscose in the Dusty Rose colorway. You think that a bulky on a bulkier needle would knit up a lot faster, right? I haven't worked on this thing in like forever, but it definitely should have been done, you know, like it should have been quick. Like this was so quick. I don't understand. Maybe because it just felt so like crazy. I really do need to get it put back on the needles so that I can finish it up. It's soft. Oop. It's very soft. So I would like to get this done. This is a cute color too. Doesn't match anything that is going on with me right now, but I like it. It's, again, this dusty pink color with brown and black tweedy bits. I don't even know if Joann's carries this yarn anymore. But I just thought it was crazy when I finished this one so quickly, and then I knew I had this one like just stashed away. Like, why did this one feel like it is just never ending, you know, just never grows, no matter how hard I try. I should measure it and see where I'm at. I'm probably pretty close. Anyways, so that is what I wanted to say about that. I'll try to have this link down below, but I do plan, I have it written down in my calendar. It's getting warm. I have it written down in my calendar to film 2 pretty large videos in 2 weeks' time. I'm going to do a year in review, and I think, oh my gosh, it was a year in review, like, so everything that I've knit this year, and I'm going to also cover my Make 9 and my Whip Go. I know I haven't mentioned that in forever, but I think I'm going to try to cover those. And then I forgot what the second video was. Plans for next year? I don't know. It's written down. In about 2 weeks' time, I'm going to do, oh, it was whips, like a whip review. That's what it was. I'm going to talk about all the whips that I currently have. So those, I'm sure both of those videos are going to be quite long. The other thing that I forgot to talk about last week was the gift knitting that I made. I made pulse warmers by Ball and Skein. I made 3 sets using 100% alpaca yarn from Chile, and I have gifted those away already. So what was it? It wasn't last Friday, I don't think. Maybe it was. I gifted the hand warmers to my coworkers. So one of my coworkers, she's originally from Colombia, I think, but her husband had, and she lives here now, of course, but her husband travels all over for work or for pleasure, I guess. I don't know. He went to Chile, or is it Chile, like I always say. He went there, got the, or I asked if he could get me some yarn, and he did, and that yarn was gifted to me. And so I thought it was only right for me to re-gift it as a wearable item. So I made those hand warmers for my coworkers, and I gifted them all. I let them choose which colors they wanted. So it was easy there. They love them. I was very happy that they liked them a lot. I actually see them wearing them at work quite often because, you know, we are lunch/recess aides, so we do have to go outside, and they say they're really, really nice. So that makes me really happy. But yeah, so I gifted all those away, and yeah, so those were the two finishes. Ugh, eating my hair. Okay, whips. Let's get into the whips real quick. We'll start with the big whip. The big whip. Oh, gosh, is this it? I feel like I'm missing a whip. I feel like I'm missing something, but maybe I'm not. Anyways, the big one. The Cosmo Sweaters by Lisa Renner. I believe I split for sleeves last time, right? So I'm just working on the body. It is such a pain in the butt. So here's where I'm at. Look at how itty bitty this looks, I swear. It looks so tiny. So I'm nearly finished. Oh my gosh, can I hold it? I am nearly finished with the color work on the body. I have two, I think, let me see, yep. I just have two more of these little stripes in each section, of course, that need to get finished off. So they come down just a little bit further, I think. And then it's just plain stockinette while fading the other two colors, which I have included the, all right, let's see here. The third color, which you can barely see, but it's the brighter teal. Like there's a stripe here. Yes, yes, there's a stripe down here, a stripe up here, and then more is starting to build in. You can just barely see it. But it fades really nicely because it's so close in color. So I think I did a good job picking that color there. So yep, I was right here last time I showed you. I did all that. I have not been exclusively knitting on this only because I do get a little burnt out with this annoying color work. It's just very repetitive, and there's so many floats, and then the parts where I'm having to stop a color work, I'm still having to catch, so I'm just it's a lot. So I'm trying to avoid like major burnout on this. So I'll work on this every day, but I won't like go ham on it as much as I would on like say another project or something like that. So a little bit each day, just trying to take it easy. So I've been working on a few other things as well, which I'll show you in just a minute. But yep, all the yarn that I'm using is Malabrigo sock. The colorways are listed in the Ravelry project page. So this part does look like the original on the cover that I'm showing you, but my bottom colors are just on the deeper spectrum of the main colors. So I have this deeper teal, and then in the model photo it is a very light teal and then a light orangey color. Mine is a deeper orange, as you can see. You can kind of see there. I really like that. Anyway, so yeah, just chugging along on this. Really wish that I was closer to being done, but I'm not expecting that. I'm not expecting this next week to have, I mean, that'd be great. I think once I get past the color work, it'll be much faster. So I actually could potentially have the body done before next week's video. So we'll see. We will see. Next whip. So I don't know why I decided to pick this one up. This is from Forbidden Fiber. It was her gamer mystery box that I bought earlier in the year. This is the Lost Wood Shawl by Justine Chanel. I'm gonna hope that it's on Ravelry. So The last few times I talked about this pattern has not been on Ravelry. I don't know where to find this pattern. Honestly, it was gifted it was part of the box, so I don't know if it's exclusive to Forbidden Fiber Co. and for a certain time, but this is as best as I can show you. So I have all the yarns from the box and then the pattern. I thought this was beautiful because I am a big fan of The Legend of Zelda, especially, oh my god. Oh no, what is it called? It was the Super Nintendo version from back in the day. It was The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. That's what it's called, A Link to the Past. I made a quilt that has Link and Zelda, and then a bunch of like little things like a treasure chest, a chicken, an arrow. I made a quilt. I have a cross stitch pattern that is the map of that game, and then I have a diamond painting that I completed that is Link and Zelda. So I just thought this was fitting to add just another thing into my collection. I like that game a lot. Anyways, so again, I had already started it, so I figured, you know, why not work on it some more? And I have all the yarn is Forbidden Fiber Co., which I'll show you in just a minute, but here is my progress. I can't see what you see. So this is where I was the last time I showed you. I just started this slip stitch cross section, and it's actually quite easy. It went really quickly, and then some more garter, and then I'm actually about to do fisherman's rib section. So I stopped so that I could focus, because it's not half fisherman's rib, which is pretty easy. It is full fisherman's rib, which requires purling through the bottom loop as well, and so I just need to refresh myself on that. But a lot of slip stitches and garter so far. And I've used every color that I've received except for the Zelda colorway. That'll be at the end of the shawl, unfortunately, but yeah, I mean, it's fun to work on because each section is, you know, there's just a little bit for each section, so I feel like it's very doable. I mean, obviously once it gets bigger, it probably won't feel that way. Let me go ahead and show you the colorways. Shoot. Okay. Again, I know I've said this before, and it's probably been a while, or you're new. I don't remember the names to some of these colors. I have the cards, but I can't remember which is which. I have it written in the, you know what? I can just check the pattern. Okay. So I haven't wound this one up because, again, I don't need the color for a while, but see, here's Forbidden Fiber Co. This is the Zelda colorway. It is the Gluttony Sock Mini, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it is 40 grams. So the color's not exactly matching up. It is a golden, like wheat color. It looks kind of green on my screen, but a golden wheat. And then the brown, oops, this one's attached to the shawl right now. The brown, this one is same base. This one is Link. So it's just a nice tonal brown. That one is Link. All right, let's see here. All right, sorry. I'm still attached to the shawl, so it makes it a little difficult. I had to write down the colors for each ball of this because these ones I could not remember what color they were. So these three other ones are Forbidden Fiber Co. Genesis, which is superwash merino. They're 50 gram skeins. They're 100% superwash merino. And we have the colors Anti-Hero, which is the gray Anti-Hero. And then we have Subplot, which is the green subplot, and then Sidekick is the orange color. In the picture, it looks more pink. Let's see, in the picture, it looks pink, but I think that's the orange because there's no pink in this. I mean, I've received no pink, so Yep, that is what is going on. Even in these back pictures, it looks pink. If you can see, I don't know. Yep, but I'm enjoying this. I'm just gonna throw this all over here and take care of that when I have a moment. But again, I am enjoying knitting on that because it's small chunks for right now. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Okay, the next whip is also a new start. Well, the next two whips are new starts as well, so I'm going to go ahead and show you that. All right, this first new whip, I actually started it as soon as I finished recording last week's video because I had talked about my plans, and I said, you know what, I might as well just dig through my stash real quick and find what I need and get cracking. So I actually have a half-finished object. Yeah, so I cast this on shortly after last week's video and finished the first sock already. This is the Thanksgiving. It's the Thanksgiving sock by Sewlivi Dyes Yarn. What was the other one that I was... Oh, no, so... What do I want to say? I know I mentioned I wanted a fluffy cuff sock because Northwood Fibers, she had made a sock set with the fluffy thing, and so I was like, that is beautiful. Well, when I went to look at her website to see what pattern she had used for her sample sock, and it happened to be the Thanksgiving sock by Sewlivi Dyes Yarn, and I actually already own that pattern. So I was debating if I did that one or if I did you know, another bear paw sock by Andrea Mowry, because both socks require you to hold the two strands together for like a DK sock. So I just did the Thanksgiving sock since I've never used that pattern before. You get 3 options in that pattern. The first one is just a straight stockinette pattern, and the second with I think a short row heel. The second one is the ribbed one with the heel flap and gusset, and then the third one is shortly after your cuff. You do the rest of the cuff is actually a cable, and then it stops, and I think the rest of it's just stockinette, and I can't remember what heel she used. I think another heel flap and gusset, a slip stitch heel flap and gusset, I think. No, just a regular heel flap. But I didn't want the cables because I do have a different sock pattern that I want to do by Sewlivi Dyes Yarn that is full cables down the foot. So I just picked this one because I know I like the ribbing, the look of ribbing on socks, especially these thicker socks. I kind of really like the look of the ribbing. So yeah, everything is from my stash. And it's all scraps from my stash. Granted, the main color right here, while it was wound up into a big old ball and put in my scrap pile, it was 100 gram skein. So let me go ahead and tell you what I got. So for the fluffy cuff, I held a strand of superwash merino, a 75-25, just undyed skein, or you know, just scrap, with a Surrey alpaca that I had left over. It was from Knitpicks, but it is discontinued, so it's no longer available. I forgot what it was called, but it's a white Surrey alpaca that I had in stash. So I just used those, held those together, and then the main body of the sock, this is just 2 strands of, again, fingering held together. This is, I believe it's a 75-25% superwash merino nylon. It's from Andromeda Sock Yarn, and it is her Blooming Bloomers colorway. I've used this yarn for 2 different projects so far, not including this one. So I originally used this yarn and the Aloft, the Surrey alpaca. It's not Aloft, that's their mohair. The Surrey alpaca with this yarn for a test knit sweater I did earlier. You know what? I don't know if it was this year or last year, but I test knit a sweater and I did not like the fit of the sweater at all. So I actually ripped out the entire thing. I could not salvage the Surrey alpaca, unfortunately, from that sweater, just because it was a honeycomb brioche And then the Surrey alpaca was held double with itself, so it was very sticky. So I didn't even try to undo it. What I had left over from that sweater is what I had here, but this actually was from that sweater. I had ripped that sweater out, and then I used some of this yarn for a different sweater, which again, I do not like the fit of. It doesn't work. I've never worn it, so I'm thinking of probably putting it in my Etsy shop at some point. But I did have quite a bit left over, so I decided that these would make beautiful Christmas socks. So for the toe, I did the same thing as the cuff. I actually just went ahead and held the Surrey alpaca with the fingering weight yarn for the toe. These are so cozy. I cannot wait to get the second one finished so I can wear these. Absolutely love it. If you have not made a chunkier sock, do it. If you've never used Surrey alpaca, or I guess mohair could work too, as your cuff, do it. This is the I'm gonna make more. I'm gonna make more because this is absolutely fantastic. I really need to buy a whole bunch of Surrey alpaca. I think I want to start incorporating that into other projects because it's really, really, really soft. And I've heard that Surrey alpaca actually helps regulate temperature better than mohair. I've heard this from a few knitters on YouTube that mohair just holds all the heat in, but Surrey alpaca will actually help you stay cool, you know, warm, but not overheat. So I think I need more Surrey alpaca in my life. Anyways, so yeah, let me go ahead and show you, I guess, the second sock, since I've managed to finish the first one. But here is my yarn. Let me see what it's called. I have the tag in here for the Surrey alpaca. Okay. So it was alpaca bloom lace weight. It says special reserve at the top, which usually means limited edition. I got the winter white color. It's 25 grams, 164 yards. And I just had two. I actually have two of these, and they were just under 25 grams, so not too bad. But oh, it's the static. This is what it looks like. It's so nice and soft. And again, I'm just holding it with an undyed skein of fingering sock yarn. Sorry. And then this is what I have left of the skein. So it should take almost all of this. Not all of it, but almost. And this is what I have on sock number 2. So magic loop on a US 4, I believe it is. US 4, yes, 3.5 millimeter. And it's just a 2x2 ribbing. Again, with a heel flap and gusset, not a slip stitch heel flap and gusset, just a regular heel flap and gusset. So yeah. Enjoying it. It's really nice, you know, just easy knit. I do need to put this other sock back in the bag. I've had it sitting on this just for prettiness, but I'm gonna need to lay my other sock that I'm knitting on top of this just to make sure I make it at least the same size, or at least close to the same size. So yeah, it's so nice. These chunky socks are amazing. Bear paw sock, the Thanksgiving sock. I believe I have another pattern. It's the, what's this? That's the fish lips. The Cozy Hiker sock by Bumblebee Acre Farm. I plan to knit these ones again soon. I had started to, and then royally messed it up. These are a ribbed sock where you hold, it's either a DK or you can do it in worsted weight as well. So a nice chunky sock. And then Yarnspiration has the Family Work socks, I think it's called, which is also a, I don't know if it's DK or worsted. I think it's a worsted weight pattern. So get to it. And then last new start, which is also part of acquisitions, is this. Let me take this out first so I can show you the acquisitions. So there's 3 skeins that are missing from this. Oh, look at it. Look at it all. Look at it. So ordered this. This is Knitpicks. It's Knitpicks Wool of the Andes in worsted weight. So it's 100% Peruvian Highland wool. Again, worsted weight. I ordered this during the Knitpicks cyber sale. I don't remember exactly which day, but I ordered all this. This was a lot. Ordered it. I know it shipped on December 1st. And then, because I use informed delivery through USPS, it said well, it didn't ship on the 1st, but its last movement was December 1st in Missouri somewhere. And then I had no update for the Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. There was no update at all. And I was starting to freak out thinking that it had gotten lost in the mail, because prior to this, an order on Amazon that I had made got lost in the mail. Same thing. It had the tracking on USPS because Amazon had shipped it over to USPS to be delivered. It got lost. It hadn't updated since November 24th. So I was starting to freak out thinking, oh, is it going to be another one of those where it just gets lost and I'm not going to, you know, see it for a while? I was starting to get a little worried. But it showed up miraculously Wednesday morning, just out of the blue, which is funny too, because I went to knit group on Tuesday and I was kind of complaining to my friends like, hey, you know, it sucks. I'm just waiting. I'm scared that it's lost. And, you know, so I was saying all this stuff. And then again, boom, Wednesday morning, it was in the mailbox before 10 a.m. I was like, what? It said it had been delivered that morning too. So I was just like, oh my gosh, crazy. Anyways, let me show you again. So I managed to get all the skeins stuffed into this giant basket. I forget what these baskets are called. But I have this giant basket that's made in Ghana. Isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. I love these baskets. But yeah, it's all stuffed in there. And I have already started the project for this. So I bought all this yarn with the Folly skirt in mind. The Folly skirt is by Stephanie Harp. It is available through Espastrico. So I can't remember if it's a free pattern or if it's paid for pattern. Because I know Espastrico's patterns are typically free. I have quite a few from them. But it does say it was designed by Stephanie Harp. Yes. So the Folly skirt is an all over calf length colorwork skirt. I know, that's crazy. But I've had this skirt in my, like the pattern in my, well, I use GoodNotes, right? Goodreader? GoodNotes? Goodreader? I don't remember what it's called. I have that, I just have the pattern, right? And every time I open the program to use it for knitting, I kind of see that skirt. And you know, I was just really thinking about it. And then I decided to start looking around for, I think it was Taylor of Wool Needle Hands. She was talking about budget yarns. You know, she not just budget yarns, but just yarns across the thing. And she starts with budget all the way up to expensive. And so, you know, I was watching her video and she was talking about different yarns. And then I was thinking about, okay, well, what ones would be good? You know, I'm not going to spend, it's 10 colors. You need 10 colors for this skirt. And depending on which yarn you buy, it depends, you know, the yardage, you know, how many of each you're going to need. So I decided to go into Ravelry and look up other people's project pages for this. And then one lady used Holst yarn. She held 2 strands together. And this is a worsted weight pattern, so I'm just like, how does 2 strands of Holst yarn make worsted weight? It doesn't really. I think you would need 3 strands, but I don't have enough variety in my Holst yarn collection to make that with this, so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. And then my next thought was like, well, what about Knitpicks? And so I did. Well, no, take that back. The next one I looked at on the project page for this was a lady using Knitpicks Wool of the Andes. And she actually had listed out her color conversion, and I kind of really liked it. So that's exactly what I did. I used her color conversion and purchased. Now I don't know if I have enough of each skein for each color, because she's knitting a much smaller size. Well, I think 2 sizes smaller than I am. And so I just kind of guessed how much I would need for each color. So some skeins I have 3, some skeins I only have 2. I'm not too worried about it, because if I do run out, I can just order another skein of that color, as long as Knitpicks doesn't discontinue that color, right? So yeah, that's what I did here. I have so many colors. All right, I'll go ahead and list these colors. I'm not going to tell you the conversion. That is all. I posted all that in my Ravelry page as well, so that if you do want, like, my colors, her colors, you can go and see, like, from the pattern which color I'm replacing it with, kind of thing. So I have Dove Heather, which is, sorry, Dove Heather, it's this gray color. Dove Heather, this one is Bouquet Heather. It has a little bit of orangey bits heathered into it. What's next? I have Spruce, which is a lovely deep teal. I have, what's this one? Rooibos? Is that how you pronounce that? I don't think you can see that. Rooibos, which is this really pretty, like, rusty color. Then I have Nightshade Heather. Pretty purple, like a jewel purple. And then this deep purple that I have is Blackberry. So they are different, but just slightly. So I think mine is going to be more low contrast compared to the image, like the sample one that was made. I'm just not a big orangey, like, it's beautiful, but I don't like the colors together. So we got Shire Heather. Is this Shire Heather? I kind of want to keep them together. Let's scoot this one over. And then we have, this one is Jurassic. So it's more muted teal. And Opal Heather, which I've actually used this color in a sweater. So there's that. And then the last one is Holly Berry. This is really pretty color. I like this color. I think I want a cardigan in this color. Something similar. I want a red cardigan. I really do. Anyways, so that's the funness. So I actually started it because my knit group ladies thought it, well, I mean, they think I'm a really fast knitter. I mean, kind of am, but not really. They just think that I'm magic. So they expected it to be finished by next Tuesday, which of course is not gonna happen. And they know that, but they just made a joke. But I did start it as soon as I got the yarn and got everything figured out and what color is going to replace what. And here we go, our little, so it's very low contrast because there's some green up in here. And then I am, let's see here. So I'm currently working with these 2 purples in this block right here with the gray, and in person, you can tell the difference, but obviously you can't see that here. So again, very low contrast. I mean, we'll see how it grows. My throat is getting dry, but that's where I'm at. After I cast on, I realized that I did not swatch. That's what I'm trying to say. I didn't swatch. I did not knit a test gauge. Why do I want to say test gauge? A test swatch? I don't know. I did not check it, you know? And I was like, oh. And I wasn't going to rip this out to get the needles free to, you know, test my gauge. And so I'm like, well, you know what? It's okay. I picked a relatively neutral sizing, you know, so I know what my size is up here, like my bust, what to pick kind of for sweaters, kind of. I mean, I know I'm kind of working on that to make them better, fitting for me, but my waist is a complete like mystery to me. Pattern says to pick 2 inches smaller than your natural waist, or you know, if you're in between sizes, go smaller. So I kind of went, you know, I was kind of in between, and so I did go down one. I mean, I'm hoping it fits. It looks like it'll fit, but you know, color work, I tend to knit color work tight, as you saw in my Cosmo sweater. I'm a tighter knitter in general, so typically my things are smaller, which I hate. So I'm hoping it fits decently. It is it's 100% Peruvian Highland wool, so it shouldn't grow too much with blocking, but with color work it should hopefully like make all the stitches pretty even. But yeah, who knows how long this is gonna take me. Yeah, I had no business casting this on, but when I had showed the image to my knit ladies, they thought it was amazing. When I showed it to my coworkers, they thought it was absolutely amazing, and they're like, that is a piece of art. And I'm like, I know, it's crazy. I'm like, sometimes I feel like my knitting should just be hung on the wall sometimes instead of worn, but they're like, no, you need to sell it. I'm like, nobody's gonna buy it for what it would actually cost. But that's what they think I need to do, sell my stuff. I'm like, no, I'm gonna wear it. So yeah, that is it for knitting. And that was an acquisition, and then I have a little gift bag. I mean, this is all in a box wrapped. It was kind of like an advent thing, but I opened everything already. So I put everything in the bag so that I could show you before I start dispersing it across the craft area or using it. So I have a little swap group that I am like it's just 4 of us. We typically do swaps. And so we did a little 12-day advent swap. And this was, I received my gift yesterday, and with her permission, she let me just open it all. I didn't want to do one a day. I just opened it all. I was too excited. So I don't remember what day was what, but she gave me this sign. She says her dad has a wood cutting machine. And so she likes to make, well, I think she asks him or she helps, but she made this sign. She's also given us this one before, because we call ourselves the wool swap dropouts. So I have that one. She had this one for me because she knows I like Game of Thrones. I'm gonna hang this up in here somewhere very soon, probably on the wall over there. She also gave me a wooden ornament that says oh gosh, let it snow. It just says let it snow, but it's on a little wooden like slice. It's on the tree already upstairs. So yep, cute little sign that I can finally hang up. So these minis were each day separately. So there's no tag or anything, so I don't know where they're from, but I'm pretty sure they're probably 80/20 yarn. They're 2-ply, at least I can tell that much. They're fingering weight, so I think they're 80/20s. They're really nice and soft, so they're really pretty colors. This is like a key lime pie colorway. They're really pretty. I like them. Again, I'm not entirely sure where these come from, but I don't mind. They're pretty. What else? A cute little pair of socks with kitties with yarn balls. So now I can finally get these on my feet. What else? I don't want to show you the main skein yet. Another pair of socks that says keep it merry with a little reindeer on it. I was thinking maybe my daughter might like these. They look like they'd fit her feet. I'm sure they'd fit my feet too, but I think they'd fit her feet a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and gift these to her. Let's see here. Just pull everything up. Okay, sorry. There was a tin of butter and Danish butter cookies as well, but those have been eaten already because they're delicious. She also gifted me, so it wasn't all just yarn for each day, which was kind of fun. One day was some stickers. I like these too. They're very cute. Kitties in hanging plants. I like those. And then just some poppies. I think those are poppies, right? Some pretty stickers. So some stickers, some chapstick, which I'm going to use right now because this is peppermint, candy cane flavored. Definitely minty. This really lovely hand cream, coconut and warm vanilla. Normally I'm not a coconut scented person. This stuff is really nice smelling though. I think it's the vanilla. You don't really smell the coconut in it. That's that warm vanilla. So some hand cream, which is really nice considering the weather right now. And then, and then we have a little stitch marker with a blue gem on it. So it's one of those snagless rings, and then there's a blue gem on there. I know it's really hard to show you. See that? Just a ring. And then a llama pin. Oh, it's this pin. I'm gonna go ahead and stick it on my pin board now. Cute little llama. And then, all right, so the last thing was a skein of yarn. So my partner, she lives in Maine, which is cool. I would love to go to Maine, but she decided to send me a skein of yarn from an indie dyer in Maine, which I love that, you know, why not support? When I travel, I like to try to get yarn from a dyer in that area. So the yarn dyer in her area is HauteKnit, which I follow on Instagram actually. I just never purchased any of her yarn, and I thought it was cool. So that, you know, she sent me this. I know it's H-A-U-T-E. Like, that's still pronounced hot, right? Or is it Haute? I always assumed it was hot. But I like watching this dyer. She actually puts reels out on Instagram of her dyeing process, which is really cool. But this colorway is called Land of the Flowers, which I think my partner described or said that it was part of her Nutcracker collection. So it's really pretty color. This is really nice, actually. Really like it. And it's on her Jimmy sock base, which is a fingering weight, 75% nylon. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and 463 yards to 100 grams. Super lovely. The cutest thing though, so I've seen someone else on Instagram posted one of these types of stitch markers, not this specific one, but one similar to it, and I thought it was absolutely amazing. Was a little Christmas cookie stitch marker. Like, it looks like a little cookie. I wish you could see the detail. Oh, this little stitch, this is fantastic. I don't have a lot of holiday themed stitch markers. I would like more. The only Christmas one I have is actually on the sock. It's just a little cardinal. That's the only Christmas stitch marker I have. Wait, I have a little resin Christmas golden tree as well, like a little Christmas tree, but it's just gold glitter. I have that one too, but the only one like legit like progress keeper stitch marker, it's a progress keeper, is the cardinal. So I need more Christmas themed ones, and look at this, just made me super happy. Super happy to see a little Christmas cookie. This is beautiful. I'm not sure what I would make with this yet, but that's okay because I got lots of skeins of yarn that I have no clue what I will make with it, and that's okay. These are really pretty colors, so I really like it. I mean, obviously there's always socks, right? Always socks. I need more socks in my life. Anyways, and then these almost, I'm gonna put those down. Oh, put those down. So these 4 colors, I think they could potentially work well with these with this skein. Like, so I don't know if these were dyed to go with this, or if, you know, it was just luck of the draw. But they do look really good together. Anyway, so this is what I got. I'm glad I showed you so I can put it all away now. Yeah, and plus I didn't show any of it to my daughter so she wouldn't try to like steal my stuff. She's the little girl, loves to take my things. But yeah, is that it? That's all I want to say. Gosh, is it an hour? An hour? Yes, so that is it. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to watching a bunch of Vlogmas, and nothing crazy has been happening this past week. Just been knitting and hanging out. I'm just gonna go ahead and get back to my knitting now, and like I said, Vlogmas, and let you enjoy the rest of your day. I do appreciate you stopping by. Go ahead and like and subscribe if that's something you'd like to do, or maybe be notified when I make another video. I always post, I do try to post every week, usually on the weekends, so there's that. Thank you. Bye.